Greetings. Let me explain to you why I chose to let Anchor take care of my podcast. I know they'll reach out to multiple platforms and get my messages delivered and heard across the nation. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so you can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. There's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Good luck and enjoy. Greetings everybody, and welcome back to my 75 hard journey. This is my week 3 recap. Again, it's the week 3 recap. And what a week it was. It was actually a pretty good week as I'm starting to really fall into a groove here and noticing more things for the good, not necessarily bad, but for the good of my body, my mental health, and so forth. So let's get into it. I'll kind of go over it briefly here. But anyhow, we'll start off with the gallon of water. As I discussed in week 2, well, at the end of week 2, I had a system with the 8 16.9 ounce bottles. That system is working wonders for me. It's a great way for me to get this water in and keep count. Now, I did stumble a couple of times during the week, so I'm pretty sure I drank more water than needed because I wasn't filling my bottles up accordingly. So I'll prepare better tonight. So I'll be on point starting on Monday. But I kept refilling like the same bottle a few times, and I drank half of one and forgot who was what. So I just filled everybody back up and started over. So a minimum is a gallon. The minimum is the gallon each day. So if you drink more, then hey, nothing wrong with that. Just an extra benefit. So I'm not complaining. And what's funny is that the more I do it, as far as drinking a gallon of water, the more my body is starting to crave water as opposed to sodas and juices, things of that nature. Now, as far as juices and things of that, I still will have them, but not as like the priority, like the primary drink. Now it's more like, let me get a glass of water. Let me get a cup of water. Even when I go out to eat now, I'm actually drinking the water that they bring. And it's funny. Have you ever thought about when they bring you water to your table, is that water filtered? Just a thought, I've never asked, and it doesn't come in a bottle. They just keep pouring it in a glass. So, anyhow, I haven't died from it, so I'll keep it pushing. But my body's definitely starting to crave water, which is good. My skin does look a lot more clear. It looks like it's clearing up as far as people say if you drink a lot of water, your skin will clear. So I do see a little bit of progress there, probably just because of the overall hydration. So the body performance is better. So I can't complain. So I'm actually kind of glad that this thing has forced me into drinking water, because I'm actually starting to enjoy just drinking regular water. Never thought I'd say that. Sticking to my meal plan. As I discussed before, I follow the intermittent fasting phase there. So I go through the 8, what is it? The 8 16. So 8 hours on, 16 hours off. Total mental fog moment. I'll tell you, after you have COVID, man, you are never the same mentally, but that's a whole nother podcast. But anyhow, I do the 8-16 method. I've been able to stick to that, and it's great because I've been able to stick to it consistently now, going at the end of 3 weeks. And it's taking me back to my original days of doing the intermittent fasting when I was really disciplined, and I wouldn't adjust it. In the beginning, the way I would do it was I would stick to my 8-16, but I would adjust it. So your body never truly catches on when you're constantly fluctuating from, not eating until 10 to not eating until 12 so you can eat longer and so forth. It was just throwing it all off. But now that I'm sticking to the script and following the plan, I'm definitely seeing more results, feeling much better. Everything is kind of clicking now. And then I don't have those late hunger cravings and things of that nature. Those have completely left. Unless, of course, I'm up just goofing off, then I should probably be asleep, which kind of leads me to the whole thing about getting rest, ample amount of rest. My goal has always been to try and get in bed by 10. I'll probably run a little bit over on Sunday, but for the rest of the week, my goal is to be in bed by 10. not just in bed, but ready to put on my little nighttime show or relaxing sounds and be asleep, or at least cut everything off and comfortable enough to go to sleep. Not in bed at 10, checking Facebook, checking Instagram, trolling through everybody's pages, YouTube, so forth. That's not the 10 o'clock in bed I plan for. Now, as far as sticking to the 2 workouts each day, that part, like I said before, is pretty breezy. It's really helping with my running. I think at the moment, I'm somewhere between 30 and 40 miles worth of running for the month of January. Being that tomorrow is the last day of January, I'm probably going to try, even though I'm supposed to take it off tomorrow and not really go out and do an extra run. I think it's tomorrow is my Funk Roberts fitness day. So I'll do the Funk program, do abs on the second part of the day, and then I might go hit the elliptical. That's usually the cardio. But I think this time around, since it's the end of the month, I'm going to go out there and get one more run in. Not sure for how long, but I want to pad those extra miles for the end of January. So that's just my own personal goal. So I'll try and do that. So other than that, though, doing the 2 workouts a day, 45-minute minimal, that's really not a problem. That's probably the easiest part for me. You have the 10 pages of a book. That's not an issue. That's been pretty decent to accomplish. I say in kind of mixed ways because it's not really an issue. It is really makes me set a certain amount of time to sit still and read a book. So that's another habit that is forcing me to get into, which is great. It's a much needed habit. So everything that is making me do, it's actually things that need to be done. So, hey, hats off to the challenge. It's definitely working because it's definitely helping me to focus and push through some things where you really have to be mentally tough to make it happen. And don't get me wrong, I've had my days. For instance, matter of fact, this morning, before I went out for my run, I went for my 5K run, and then I actually did another mile just walking. This morning was that morning where I was just like, this is totally the morning I did not feel like going. And there was a fight to get me out of bed to go. But once I got up and got out of bed, I was fully with it and super glad that I did it. So, but it definitely has those moments. I don't think that it's something where, you're doing 2 workouts a day. And again, they don't have to be strenuous, but it's just a matter of doing 2 workouts a day. Even when you don't feel like it, you still have to push. And that's the whole thing is making you mentally tough because you have to do it. There's no one to hold you accountable in this but yourself. So you have to. I got that the other day, like, what if I was to have a drink? Nobody would know. Nobody publicly outside of myself would know. But I would know that I cheated myself. What if I don't go work out today? I can just say that I did. Well, I'm only lying to myself because no one else is following me around each day, making sure that I get it done. So this is where that mental toughness is, and being honest and holding yourself accountable. So that's why I told you in the beginning, the 75 hard is not really a physical weight loss challenge, but you'll get the benefits from it. It's really working on your mental to see how mentally tough you are and how you can push yourself and get out of certain zones. So that's, at least that's my take on it. If you have a different take, please let me know. But that's the way I see it, is more mental than physical. Now, this week is not a weigh-in week, so I definitely didn't hop on the scale. I'll probably jump on the scale at the end of next week, just so I can kind of get an accurate reading for how January went, and then I can see where I need to adjust on as far as for February being a short month, whatever. But it being a short month, I think the biggest thing for February for me with it being a short month, total sidebar, rent seems like it's going to come hella quick. Like you just paid it now. It's about to be right back up in your pocket. Total side note. But I like to do a 75-day challenge where I don't have to pay this damn rent. But anyhow, that's a whole nother rant for a whole different day. But on the positive side, though, there's no weigh-in this week. Getting back to the 75 hard, there's no weigh-in this week. Then when I do get on the scale, I'm really just looking for body fat. As this phase that I am with my Alpha Brothers on the Funk Roberts Challenge, with this phase, it's more about lifting the weights, at least using the weights to burn the fat. So, of course, anyone out there knows if you're lifting weights, you're going to put on muscle, which you're throwing the extra pounds. So a scale will have you feeling like you're just going totally left. if you look at the weight itself. So I look at the body fat, I believe it's the visceral or whatever the fat is that's in your belly. I look at those two things. Those are my two main things that I focus on or tend to focus on when I get on my scale, and it gives me that full digital breakdown. Not so much the weight itself. And then I really go by how my clothes fit. And right now, I'm starting to get that nice little hang starting to come out there. You can see it kind of highlighting in the shoulders, and the sleeves is kind of filling up again on its own with a nice cut to it. Not just puffy filled up sleeves, but a nice cut to it. So clothes will tell you the truth. I think it's not just because of the 3 weeks, but it's being more dedicated to everything that I'm doing during this process. So it's all kind of folding in together. So overall, for the completion of week 3, still making great positive progress. I think I'm actually starting to kind of turn the corner with a few people. I might be kind of lightweight, inspiring others now to get into this challenge, or at least start some kind of a challenge to push themselves out of their comfort zone. I'm learning a hell of a lot about myself on this journey. Good grief, I'm learning a lot about myself. I'll probably try and summarize that maybe in a monthly thing, or even at the end of the 75 days. I don't know, but I have learned a lot about myself, just where I'm disciplined and lack the discipline. So that's been great. I still have those moments where I think about having a drink, or I would like to have a drink, or I think having a drink might be nice. I've been able to push past that, and it's not like a craving, like, oh my God, I need to have that drink, or, like I'm running from it. Now, mind you, my whole bar is fully stocked. I just probably maybe got like 10 bottles or something donated from a friend. So I got plenty of alcohol in my house right now. So if I was going through some kind of an issue, it really just wanted to crack. I mean, that's a whole bar next to me. So I'm doing well with that. But what I have noticed is certain events I won't go to, because those events that I would go to, those were events that I always tied drinking in together. So now the new mental challenge is getting over the fact that I'm not going to drink at that event and still being able to find fun in that event without the alcohol in my hand. So maybe I'll challenge myself next week and go to one of my places that I normally would drink and just see how that works out. Hopefully it doesn't end my 75. Nah, it won't, but it'll be interesting to see what kind of temptation there is involved in it. But who knows, man. I think it's more the company that you keep yourself around if you feel like you need to drink or not, or make it a fun event if you drink. But who knows, man. But other than that, everything has been grand. Everything has been good. I can't complain about it. I'm really happy that I started this challenge. Why did I start the challenge? Just to test myself mentally, make sure I wasn't being controlled by any vices. My end goal is to complete the 75 days without any kind of hiccups, not breaking my pattern, my path. And I'm just excited to see what the end result will be. Now, this week coming up, I'll probably, just workout wise in general, I'll probably switch up my diet a little bit more. Man, I just got my proteins in. Oh man, I'll tell you about my proteins. I don't do animal protein. It's not because I'm vegan or something of that nature, but many moons back I had kidney stones, and part of the reason was because of that protein that I was using. There's a lot of calcium buildup and so much. It was a whole lot of stuff that went into that. But I started using a plant-based protein just to see what would happen. And I fell in love with plant-based proteins. So I was able to, by the grace of a good friend, I was able to get blessed with like 3 bags of plantar protein. And man, that stuff is the bomb. I don't get paid off it. I'm not getting a kickback, none of that. But those flavors are the bomb. So I'm really excited to have those to start the week off with. I've been using a couple. I got, I think, Thursday. So I've had a couple of them since then. But man, I'm so excited. So I'll probably change up my meal plan this week to kind of cater around that. I got a cinnamon roll flavor specifically for my oatmeal. I got a peanut butter cup specifically for my shake so I can make it with my banana. And then I got the peanut butter and jelly flavored one. And that's just because I like it. Yeah, mix it with some vanilla, almond milk, and I like it. So that works. That'll probably be my shake in the evening. But I say all of that to say, when you get on this 75-day challenge, it really does test your mental. You start to learn a lot about yourself, but you always find yourself tweaking something each week, whether it's just one small thing. And I'm one of those people who's results driven. I don't like to do something and not see a result. So I'll drive myself crazy just so I can make sure that I see what I need to be seeing while I'm doing something or feeling it. So I encourage everybody, like I did before, if you haven't started one, just pick a challenge. It doesn't have to be 75 days. If you're new to challenges, you can start off with a 15-day challenge. You can do a 30-day challenge. Just something that's going to push yourself. Take baby steps, or just say to hell with it, man, and just jump in with both feet. Go gung-ho 1-0 and jump right into a 75-dayer and see what you can do with it. So I'm excited. Can't wait to see how it all turns out. Thank y'all for coming along with this journey with your boy. 75 hard. End of week 3. Starting week 4 tomorrow morning. Thank y'all. Wish me luck. Keep me accountable. And I'm out here, man. You dig.